Hello everyone. Hello guys. Hello everyone. How are you all? So my name is Afreen Asbat and I welcome you all in today's session. So we are going to discuss important topics of PPB. This is class 6 of Sure Short series. So in today's video we are going to discuss the RBI Integrated Ombudsman Scheme, which is a very important topic for all of you. So let's start discussing. First of all, the RBI Integrated Ombudsman Scheme 2021. So this is first of all the basic introduction. Introduction is when we are starting with the banking ombudsman scheme of RBI. So in 1995 there was one scheme working that is for common for all. The banking ombudsman scheme of RBI 1995. Then there was the ombudsman scheme for NBFC, non-banking financial companies, 2018. And then there was ombudsman scheme for digital transaction, 2019, right? So these three schemes, ombudsman scheme for NBFC, the ombudsman scheme for digital transaction, and the integrated ombudsman scheme. So these scheme, or sorry, the normal banking ombudsman scheme. So this 1995, 2018, and 2019, these schemes are merged, and then in 2001, these merged together and known as the RBI Integrated Ombudsman Scheme, right? Now, when we are talking about the organizational aspects of this particular scheme, so in this there is a ombudsman. So RBI appoints maybe its own officer as an ombudsman to carry out the function under this scheme. The appointment of ombudsman can be a maximum of 3 years at a time, right? Now, under this we have CRPC, Central Research Processing Center. So this is in Chandigarh. So all the complaints which are actually done by any customer, first of all, they are received under this CRPC, Central Receipt and Processing Center, Chandigarh. Now, next, when we are talking about the power and jurisdiction, so RBI specifies the territorial authority of each ombudsman. So there is a authority for each and every ombudsman, and this ombudsman handle the complaint which is forwarded by CRPC, right? So there is a power and jurisdiction of Reserve Bank of India, which of ombudsman, which RBI has defined. CRPC actually accept all the complaint, and there is an ombudsman which is appointed by Reserve Bank of India for a period of not maximum, not more than 3 years, right? Now, when we are talking about the mode of satisfaction of complaint, so what is the mode of satisfaction of complaint? So, when we are talking about the mode of satisfaction of complaint, so there is the aggrieved party. Okay, so aggrieved party and bank. First of all, the thing is done that there can be any agreement or through conciliation or mediation that can be done for the bank and the aggrieved person. Now, what is the procedure of filing that complaint? So, if we talk about the procedure for filing the complaint, so there are three main procedure or uh, three ways, official ways in which you can just file the complaint to the ombudsman under this scheme. First of all, there is an online portal, and this is the a site, cms.rbi.organization.in. You can complain it here, or through electronic mail you can just send the email, or either from the physical mode like for post and courier also. So these are the procedure for filing the complaint under RBI Integrated Ombudsman Scheme 2021, right? Now, next, when we are talking about the confidentiality, yes, the ombudsman has to maintain the confidentiality of each and every information, yes or no? So, the ombudsman are required to maintain the confidentiality of the information of each and every documents, right? So, when this is and if in any circumstances it is assured, it is allowed. Now, under which circumstances it is allowed to share? First of all, when it is required by law. So when there is a court or income tax order to the ombudsman that you have to reveal the information, then only the ombudsman are allowed to reveal the what information, then with the consent of the person providing these. Okay, so with the consent of the person means if I am complaining to ombudsman and I have given my consent that you can just share my problem for the awareness purpose, then also the ombudsman are allowed to share the information. When the parties are required to disclose to each other for natural justice and fair play. right? So these are the situations in which the sharing of the information is allowed, right? Else you have to maintain the confidentiality of that report, right? Next, when we are talking about the processing of the complaint, so yes, the processing of the complaint, these are based on the preliminary scrutiny. Okay, so CRPC have to do the scrutiny first. Okay, so some complaints, first of all, are not valid. Okay, so not a valid complaint. If the complaints are not valid, then these are complaints are closed at the very first step. Okay, second, which are not maintainable. Not maintainable means sometimes the complaints are done which is not on the permitted ground, right? So which are not on the permitted ground, so these are separated and then these are actually advised accordingly. But those complaints which are valid also, and those complaints which are maintainable also, then these complaints are actually given to the concerned ombudsman for the further examination. So complaint which are not valid, complaint which are not maintainable, so the valid and maintainable complaint, these are actually given for the further examination, right? Now CRPC has to give the concerned regulated entity or the recipient of the complaint from the RSPC are required to prominently file with the concerned ombudsman in written copies along with the document within 15 days. So you have to submit 15 days all the document. If the CRPC has received the complaint and they just give the order to the regulated entity that you have to present your side, so this complete thing should be done within 15 days of receiving the response from the CRPC, right? Now, let's talk about what are the grounds for the non-maintainability of the complaint. So if the complaints are not maintainable, on what grounds we can say that these complaints are not maintainable? For example, the complaint cannot cover the commercial judgment or the commercial decision or the dispute between vendor and a regulated entity, grievance which is not addressed by the ombudsman directly, or general grievances, or the dispute in action or the service which is not within the regulatory purview of RBI, or the dispute between the regulated entity, or the dispute which involves the employee and employer relationship. So these are all those complaints on which there is non-maintainability. Okay, so if the complaints are non-maintainable, they are advised accordingly. They are not given any suggestions here, right? Now, what are the awards that has been given by the ombudsman? So obviously there are awards which have been given by the ombudsman. Okay, awards means the type of compensation that the ombudsman is giving. First of all, the ombudsman can provide a specific direction to the regulated entity that you have to do this and this and this to the for solving the customer grievances. Either there is like this direction which is given. Okay, or sometime the amount which is to be paid by the regulated entity as a compensation for the loss suffered, right? So sometimes the amount which is to be paid by the regulated entity to the complainant, this is as per the compensation for any of the loss suffered. So you can just offer it compensation, or you can just offer the direction to perform some specific performance, right? Now, this can involve what? First of all, the actual amount which is involved in the dispute. Second, there is a limit. The compensation for the consequential loss, which is direct or indirect, it can be provided to the aggrieved person, but with a limit of 20 lakhs. So there's a 20 lakh limit for that. Or the compensation for the loss of time. This can be up to the ceiling of rupees 1 lakh, right? So this is the award. First of all, the actual amount without any ceiling. Second, if there is a consequential loss, it is given up to the maximum loss of 20 lakh. And sometimes there is a loss of time which is up to the ceiling of rupees 1 lakh. These are the awards by ombudsman, right? Now, a copy of this award, first of all, is sent to the complainant and the regulated entity both, right? So if they have any thing, okay, the complainant has to give the letter of acceptance. First of all, when the ombudsman decide that okay, this has to be done, then this the copy of award is to be sent to the complainant and the regulated entity both, right? Now the complainant has to give the letter of acceptance, yes, that I have accepted that award in full and final settlement within 30 days, right? Now, if he fails to do so, the award will lapse. Okay. Then there is an appellate authority, which is the executive director in charge of RBI's department. Appeal can be made against the award or the order of the rejection by the ombudsman, and the appellate authority has a time period of not exceeding 30 days for filing an appeal if they are satisfied with the reason. So these are the procedure in which either you can just accept the award or reject the award, and if you are rejecting the award, you can file it to the higher authority, means the appellate authority, within 30 days. Clear? Now, on what ground the ombudsman can reject the complaint? So there are some grounds in which the ombudsman can reject the complaint. First of all, if they think that there is no deficiency of services, the ombudsman can reject the complaint. If they think that the compensation is beyond their consequential loss limit, so consequential loss limit is 20 lakh. So if it is beyond this, they can reject. The complaint is without any reasonable diligence. The complaint is without any sufficient cause. The complaint is without any elaborate documentary, right? Or there is no financial damage or inconvenience caused by the complainant to the complainant. So if there is anything like this, so the complaint can be rejected by the ombudsman in this case, right? So this is the RBI Integrated Ombudsman Scheme. Except to expect 1 to 2 questions from this particular RBI Ombudsman Scheme. And in the October exam cycle 2024, there was actually one question which was regarding this RBI Integrated Ombudsman Scheme 2020. Right. So thank you so much. I hope that you have all understood this video. If you have understood this video, please like and share the video to the maximum you can. And if you haven't subscribed this channel yet, is a request, guys, just please subscribe this channel and press the bell notification icon. Thank you so much. Have a very nice day. Take care. Bye bye, guys. Bye, everyone. Take care.